We live in a world where we're more connected than ever before. Social media gives us instant access to people, lifestyles, and success stories that seem larger than life. But with that connection comes a hidden danger, the illusion of perfection. We don't just admire successful people anymore, we want to be them. We chase their success without understanding the journey it took to get there. But here's the truth, you can never be them. And that's okay, because you were never meant to be.
We are the most connected generation in human history. We have access to everything, people, information, inspiration right at our fingertips. And while that sounds amazing, it comes with a hidden price. We've grown up idolizing successful people, watching their highlight reels, seeing their wealth, their lifestyles, their so-called perfect lives on social media, and that's where the danger begins. Aspiring to achieve great things, that's fine, but aspiring to be someone else, that's a dangerous game.
Social media has glamorized success. We see the nice cars, the lavish vacations, the millions in the bank, but what we don't see is the years of grinding, the failures, the sleepless nights, the sacrifices, the talent, the obsession it took to get there. You admire Steve Jobs, but are you obsessed with design the way he was? You want to be Elon Musk, but are you willing to work 100 hours a week for years without stopping? You dream of being Mark Zuckerberg, but do you have the conviction to build something nobody else sees? You're not Steve Jobs, you're not Elon Musk, you're not Mark Zuckerberg. You are you, and that is your greatest power.
The real problem, our generation has confused admiration with aspiration. We don't want the journey, we just want the destination. We don't want to put in the work, we just want the results. But success doesn't work like that. The very people we idolize, they didn't follow anyone. They didn't copy a blueprint, they created their own.
Bill Gates didn't have a Bill Gates to look up to. Steve Jobs didn't have a role model to mimic. These people carved their own paths. They didn't chase someone else's dream. We admire them because they were different, because they had the confidence to challenge the status quo, because they had the courage to disagree, because they had the audacity to believe they could change the world. That's why we celebrate them. Not because they tried to be someone else, but because they dared to be themselves.
So here's my advice to our generation. Stop trying to be your heroes. Admire them? Sure. Study them? Absolutely. But don't imitate them, because visionaries are not meant to be copied. They are meant to be inspired by. Trying to be someone else is the fastest way to become nobody at all.
The only great person you can become is the greatest version of yourself. Because guess what? Every other great person, they're already taken. And the irony, once you become your greatest self, people will start looking at you the same way you once looked at your idols.
The hidden crisis no one talks about. There's something happening in our culture right now, something we don't talk about enough. Failure, depression, burnout. People in our space are struggling, and no one is saying anything. We sweep it under the rug. We pretend everything is fine. Meanwhile, people are breaking under the pressure. We're too busy scrolling through Instagram to notice.
Social media is filled with fake success. People posting pictures of stacks of cash, exotic vacations, private jets, but most of it is a lie. The rented cars, the fake lifestyles, the desperate attempt to look successful instead of actually becoming successful. And the worst part, people believe it. They think that's real life. They compare themselves to it. They chase an illusion.
The real work, the real journey, it's messy. It's failure after failure. It's sleepless nights. It's self-doubt. It's fighting demons that no one else can see. We're all fighting something, every single one of us. You think the richest, most successful, best-looking people don't struggle? You think the people you admire have it all figured out? You don't know their battles. That celebrity with the perfect body might have an eating disorder. That guy with the perfect family might be cheating on his wife. That entrepreneur with millions in the bank might feel like a failure because his parents never told him they were proud of him. You don't know. So why are you comparing yourself to them?
The world doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care if you succeed or fail. The world will keep moving with or without you. So you can either chase a fake life, constantly measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel, or you can focus on your own journey, build something real, and create a life that actually fulfills you.
Final thought. Your time is limited. Your energy is limited. So don't waste it trying to be someone else. The only path to real happiness, becoming the best version of you. And when you finally do that, when you fully embrace who you are, something crazy will happen. People will start looking at you. They'll admire you. They'll want to be you. And that's when you'll realize it was never about being like them. It was about becoming yourself.
At the end of the day, the only person you need to compete with is yourself. Not the influencers on Instagram, not the entrepreneurs on Forbes, not the celebrities flaunting their lives online, because none of that is real. What's real is your journey, the work you put in, the sacrifices you make, and the growth you experience along the way. The world we live in today is designed to distract you. It's designed to make you feel like you're behind, like you're not good enough, not rich enough, not successful enough. But that's just noise.
The truth, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Your journey isn't meant to look like anyone else's. It's not supposed to be easy or glamorous or picture perfect. It's supposed to be yours. The problem is, most people never figure that out. They spend their whole lives chasing someone else's dream instead of creating their own. They waste their energy trying to fit into a mold that wasn't made for them. They compare, they envy, they try to keep up with people who don't even know they exist. And in the end, they lose themselves.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep strolling through life wishing you had what someone else had? Are you going to keep measuring yourself against people who have a completely different story, a completely different purpose? Or are you finally going to focus on your own path?
The people we admire didn't copy anyone. They weren't following a roadmap. They weren't trying to be the next someone. They were creating their own story. Steve Jobs didn't try to be the next Bill Gates. Elon Musk didn't try to be the next Jeff Bezos. Mark Zuckerberg didn't try to be the next Steve Jobs. They became the first and only versions of themselves. And that's why we remember them.
You will never be truly happy or fulfilled until you learn to do the same. You weren't put on this earth to be a second-rate version of someone else. You weren't put here to follow the script that society handed you. You were put here to write your own.
And here's the crazy part. Once you finally stop trying to be like everyone else, once you fully embrace your own path, your own voice, your own dream, something incredible happens. People start noticing. They start looking at you the way you used to look at your idols. They start wondering, how did they do it? They start wanting to be you.
And that's when you'll realize it was never about becoming like them. It was always about becoming the best version of you. So today, make that decision. Stop chasing a life that was never meant for you. Stop comparing yourself to people who don't even know what they're struggling with behind closed doors. Stop trying to fit into a world that celebrates individuality but pressures everyone to conform. You don't need to be the next anything. You just need to be the first you.
At Life Motivation, we believe that every person has the power to shape their own future. We don't want this generation to be lost in comparison, chasing someone else's dream while ignoring their own. Our mission is simply to help you realize your potential, to inspire you to take control of your life, and to remind you that your story is worth writing. We want the youth of America to stop measuring their worth by someone else's highlight reel, to stop chasing empty success and instead build something meaningful, to have the courage to be different, to follow their passion, and to become the best version of themselves, not a copy of someone else. If this message speaks to you, if you believe in becoming stronger, better, and more focused on your own path, then join us. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. This journey isn't just about watching, it's about taking action. It's about pushing yourself to be relentless, unstoppable, and unshakable. Are you ready? Let's grow together.